the face of the drifter. Imagine a man with one dead glassy eye and a voice like gravel grinding together. That was Henry Lee Lucas. In the early 1980s, he was just a drifter picked up in Texas on a weapons charge. But once he started talking, he didn't stop. He didn't just admit to one murder. He admitted to dozens, then hundreds. He told the Texas Rangers that he had killed up to 600 people across the United States. He described the Orange Sox murder, the Stacey Williams case, and countless others. The Lucas Task Force. The police were desperate. Across the country, there were thousands of cold cases, families, waiting for answers that never came. When Lucas started clearing these cases, the Texas Rangers formed a dedicated task force. For a few years, Lucas lived like a dark celebrity. He was given steaks, milkshakes, and allowed to roam the police station without handcuffs. In exchange, he gave the police what they wanted: closure. He would sit with a map, point to a spot, and say, "Yeah, I did one there." The problem: investigators were so eager to close files that they began feeding him information. The tactic: they would show him crime scene photos before the interview. Lucas, a master manipulator, would mirror back the details he just saw. The result: 213 murders were officially cleared based on his word alone. The House of Cards collapses. The legend of the Confession King began to crumble when a journalist named Hugh Ainsworth and some skeptical investigators started looking at the math. The data didn't add up. On days Lucas claimed to be murdering someone in Florida, there were gas receipts and work records proving he was in Arkansas or Pennsylvania. In one famous instance, he claimed to have driven a car that didn't exist yet to a location he couldn't have reached in the time allotted. "I am not a mass murderer. I'm a mass liar." Henry Lee Lucas later in life. The haunting legacy. The real tragedy of Henry Lee Lucas isn't just his lies, it's the silence he left behind. Because the police solved those 213 cases with a stroke of a pen, they stopped looking for the real killers. For hundreds of families, the closure they were given was a sham. The real murderers were still out there, walking the streets, while the police toasted to their success with a man who was playing them for a fool. Even today, investigators are using DNA to reopen Lucas cases, only to find that the DNA belongs to someone else entirely. Henry Lee Lucas died in prison in 2001, but his ghost still haunts every cold case file he ever touched. The fire is getting low. But remember, the scariest thing isn't the man who says he's a monster. It's the people who are so afraid of the dark that they'll believe any lie just to feel safe again.